Hello everyone and welcome to my questing guide. This will be a relatively basic guide on how to quest more efficiently. I will go through helpful tips and strategies you should be thinking about while questing. This guide is more intended for those that want to hurry up and get to max level so they can jump right into raiding or PvP. For those that enjoy the peaceful grind of leveling, this might not be the best guide for you, but it'll still help a bit, hopefully. Before you even log on, you should get yourself ready. Ideally, you want to be in a relaxing environment so you can concentrate on the game. Also, I advise you to sit at a desk or table. Sitting on a bed or couch while comfortable for short periods can lead to back strain and neck strain. As well, it's not good to spend excessive time in a bed due to possible future sleep problems. Now that you're comfortable, it's time to log on. As you can see, I have quite a few tunes on my main server and even more on other servers. I like to try every class out at least a little bit, and obviously the classes I prefer most are the ones that I level first. Once you have decided which class to level, go ahead and log on and get ready. If this is not your first tune, I strongly suggest you purchase Heirloom leveling gear. Heirloom gear can be purchased from the main capital city of your faction using Justice Points or Honor. Most leveling gear has bonus to experience gain, which will help you quickly level. As well, the beneficial stats that level with you is very helpful while leveling. Also with Cataclysm's guild leveling, there are many useful leveling guild perks as in increased experience and less durability loss on death, to name a few. So attempting to find a higher level leveling guild is a useful thing to keep an eye out for. If this is your first tune, then heirloom items is still out of the question for you, but you can still try finding yourself a good leveling guild. After you've decided if you're using heirloom items, joining a leveling guild, or doing neither, you are almost ready to start. Before heading out to the zone you're questing in, you will need to grab a few helpful items, the first being food or water. Blizzard has made regeneration of health and energy bars much faster at lower levels, but consumables are still useful. The general rule of thumb is if you're a class that can heal, you do not need food, only drink. And if you are a class that has no mana, you only need food, no drinks. Also, you will need to make sure your health stone is set somewhere useful. I tend to set mine in Orgrimmar or Stormwind at the closest inn to the trainers. That way every few levels I can hearth, train, and fly back while I pee or grab a drink. And one last thing you will need to consider before you actually start questing is which add-ons will you use. In Wrath of the Lich King I used upwards to 40 different add-ons. Since then I've shortened the list to about 10. With all the changes Blizzard made to the interface, a lot of the add-ons are not needed. Quest Helper and TomTom are nice additions, but I find that the built-in Quest Helper that Blizzard put in is just as fine. One add-on I strongly recommend is Arc Inventory. You will notice how my bags look during the video. This is Arc Inventory. It takes a few hours initially to set it up and figure out what everything means, but once you do, it's cake. The add-on places all your bags into one window and lets you customize the bars and columns to automatically sort your items however you want it. One more add-on I suggest, but is not really necessary, is Bartender. Bartender allows you to almost completely customize how your bars look and gives you the ability to add more bars than the default UI allows, which is nice for professions, pets, mounts, different spells, you know. Alright, now that you've done all the prep work, how about let's do some questing. I've decided for this video to use my level 26 Warlock Celiana. I recorded myself leveling for about 30 to 45 minutes, which I sped up and cut up a little bit. Throughout the rest of the video, I'll be slowing down the video and addressing important things about leveling. The first thing you'll want to do, while it seems pretty obvious, is to pick up all the quests in the hub. I've seen many people pick up one quest at a time and work that way. That slows questing down to an unbearable level. You need to make sure that you pick every single quest you have available as soon as it's available. Also, you should try to stay mounted as much as possible while picking up quests and doing the quest. The rule of thumb for me is if it takes less than 3 seconds to get from point A to point B, then I will not mount up. Anything further than that and I will jump on my mount. The second you kill a quest mob or turn in a quest, you need to be ready to mount up again and go to the next one. Taking a few seconds from killing the mob or picking up your quest item to mounting, it might not seem like a lot at first, but if you add up all those wasted seconds, it adds up to a lot of time. If the second you finish what you're doing, you mount up, you're wasting no time and you can get to the next place even faster.
We polished all the chrome on a rusty little home. We slept all night in parking lots. We tied our hearts in double knots so tight. So free. So just cherubs in our tender skins,
If you notice as I am doing quests, I will open up the map and click on the circled number or question mark on the map. This places a yellow arrow on your minimap and helps you get to your destination even faster.
Flowing so free, blowing in the breeze. The songs we sung so long ago, with whiskey and an afterglow, we shine like new. But there along the way, something seemed to change. As weeks turned into months we knew, as life caught up we slowly grew apart and untied our hearts. Remember when we were just cherubs in our tender skins, waiting patiently.
Another helpful tip to increase speed is to immediately start riding to your quest once you have picked the quest hub. There are 4 types of quests in the game: kill quest, drop quest, pickup quest, and escort quest. Kill quests require you to kill X amount of Y mobs. Drop quests require you to kill Y mobs for Z amount of X items. Pickup quests require you to run around and pick up X amount of Y items. And finally, escort quests require you to escort an NPC or NPCs from point A to point B. Minus a few random quests along the way, all quests in the game can be sorted into these 4 categories. When you pick up a quest, you should immediately open up your world map and look at the circle number and start heading that way. As you are riding towards the quest area, you should open up your quest log or look on the right side of your screen at the quest tracking and decide which category does this quest fall into, and what exactly are you looking for. Once you have reached the area on the map, start scanning the mobs and items until the tooltip shows a 0 out of whatever. This is what you need. Looking for the specific name of the mob or item takes much longer than just scanning with the mouse. The important thing when using this technique is to never stop moving. You should have plenty of time from the quest hub to the quest area to figure out what you need to be doing. Standing at the quest hub while reading the quest, or waiting until you get to the area to read the quest, is wasted time. You need to try to do this as you are moving. Another technique I'll mention is called the pet drag. This only works if you are a class with a pet. If you notice, I'm using my lock pet to aggro many mobs at once and then AoE them down. As long as you can keep your pet healed, this is a great way to aggro a lot of mobs without getting hurt yourself. You may also use this to get your pet to start attacking your next target while you finish up your current one, so by the time you get done with your target, the next one is already hurt. Another useful way to use your pet is if you are at the back of a cave which all the mobs have respawned, you can use your pet to hop from one mob to the next. Keep running out as you tell your pet to attack the next up target without attacking any of them. If done right, yourself and your pet will not receive any damage and instead the mobs will reset after a while. You can keep hopping until you are out of the cave. Then tell your pet to move or attack a faraway mob to reset any still aggroed enemies.
I'm sitting on the shelf, staring at their faces. The eyes that stare back at me.
Group quests are a tricky thing. Most come at the end of a chain and reward very nice gear, but they are not always worth it. Currently, I have yet to play a class that cannot solo a 2-person group quest. You just have to learn your oh shit buttons. With that said, not everyone will be able to do it, and only rarely have I ever been able to solo a 3-person group quest. When you receive a group quest, do a quick /who and see who is in the zone with you. If there are other people, message them and see if they want to do the quest. If no one wants to help you and you can't find a higher level friend to come and help, then it's usually better to leave the quest for later. Do not sit around and just keep looking. Keep the quest in your log for a few levels and continue questing until you finally either find someone or outlevel the quest. Looting mobs is another judgment call. Personally, until I reach Cataclysm level, I do not loot enemies unless there is a quest item. The low level cloth, few silver, and random bear meat is not worth the wasted time in my opinion. Others will argue that point though. Low level mats do tend to sell on the auction house for quite a bit, so to some extent it might be worth it. Personally, I do not find it worth the time it takes to loot, and so I do not loot many mobs. Remember, since you are not accepting one quest at a time, you should not be turning in one quest at a time. Stay out until you have completed all your current quests and then turn them in all at once, unless the quest requires you to go through town. It will slow you down very much to do one quest, turn it in, then run right back. Try to visualize a path you are going to take that encompasses all of your quests and then finally leads back to the quest hub. Another judgment call is whether or not to run dungeons or battlegrounds while leveling. If I'm leveling a tank or healer, I tend to queue for a dungeon when I either have quest for the place or need a break from questing. If I'm a DPS, I tend to queue the second I log on. That way by the time the queue pops, it'll be 15 or 20 minutes and you'll have already gotten some quests done. The same goes for battlegrounds. If I find quest for the place or if I'm tired of questing, I'll queue up. Or if I plan on PvPing on a certain toon at 85, I'll queue for battlegrounds quite often. It's good to get experience pretty early. Finally, I'll mention one more thing and finish off this video. It's a personal call whether or not you quest with other people. If you quest with someone else, you're almost guaranteed to take longer, if only for the fact that drop quest and pickup quest will take twice as long. Not to mention the person you are questing with might not be as fast as you. And if they are, then you should probably have them watch this video. With that said, it tends to be much more enjoyable to quest with a partner, and the conversation you two have can outweigh the added time. I quest much faster by myself, but there has been times I've chosen to quest with friends and family, since we can get on vent and have a blast talking to one another. My simple answer is, if you don't have any friends, then quest by yourself. Don't go finding other random people to quest with. If you have friends with toons around your level, try meeting up at a fresh hub and questing for a bit. It's about having fun, right?